Gotcha. Hey, what's going on, everyone? Welcome back. Today we're gonna be getting back into One Piece episodes 819 and 820. Y'all, last set of episodes were so freaking good, man. It's been a little bit since I've watched some One Piece and was like really fiending for the next episodes. It's been quite a while since I reacted to the last set with the move and everything going on, so I've been going through some hard times waiting for this. I know it's a little dramatic. Hard times is very dramatic. Let's just say it's been a tough wait. I keep thinking about freaking Pudding, man. Pudding, our trader, dude. But I also got maybe this is random, but my friend got me this All Sunny. This will focus, yeah. Came for my birthday. It's cool. Like up and down. Okay. Kude Burst. Let's go and recap the character ratings from last time. We gave MVP to that trader Pudding. Just for her deception, man, and how well she sold it all. Still shook to this day. It's funny, I watched the episode with my girlfriend and she was like, what the heck? What is going on? She had no clue too. She could not see it coming. Definitely one of the better like anime betrayals. Top 10 anime betrayals. For the best moment, we gave that to Sanji, specifically with that panel or frame of him at the end of episode 817 where he's crying and man, such a sad frame. Like, just depicts how Sanji feels so well. I kind of want to see what that looks like in the manga, because I imagine that's one of those panels where it just has so much detail that lets you understand the character's emotions. For the funniest moment, we gave that to Luffy when he's trying to tear his arms off to get out of there and, you know, get after Pudding, of course. And Nami's all concerned. He's like, tear off your arms too, Nami. Luffy expecting some crazy shit. But yeah, I think with that being said, we can go ahead and get in these episodes. Consider dropping a like, subscribing, all that good stuff if y'all want to support the channel or follow along for more as we go through this series. Appreciate any support, and check out the Patreon 4 weeks ahead there. Uncut reactions if y'all want to join that community. But yeah, let's go ahead and get this, y'all. Of course, the Oosh is here. Always getting in the biz, bro. This is the little mans I gotta work with here. Always in my business. He's a good sport.
出血はひどかったが、すでに傷口は塞がり始めている。なんという硬い皮膚と回復力。
The pillow's a fucking candy wrapper.
ビンスモーク系の報告を忘れないように。さぞ心配しているだろう。
I'd be feeling pretty sus if I was the Vince Smokes. This poor doctor. Ooh. This is gonna be interesting. Sanji trying to talk to Reiju, maybe even after her memory was altered. This kind of was the part I was wondering, is if Sanji stuck around to be able to see her memories altered, or if he left. Yeah, so he must have been. The book's too strong, man. They need to get that bookmark thing. So I gotta tear my arms apart. He's as simple as that. That seems a little risky. Man, Luffy and Nami and the in this prison have been pretty funny. I wonder if the other prisoners in this book are gonna escape too. Yeah. They're only enveloped in fire for a couple minutes. That'd kill you so quickly, dude. That laugh from Luffy, dude. Oh, god damn it. Why? Just gotta show him off, man.
おかげで腕ちぎらずに済んだよ。ありがとう。
そういえばわしらが初めて会うたのもどこぞの牢獄じゃったの。
Dang, dude, what a throwback now.
ありがとう、ジンベエ。でも、なんでこの島に？
ああ、わしの率いる太陽の海賊団もビッグマムの傘下に入っとるからじゃ。ああ、謀反じゃな。もう引き返せ。
Yep.
いいの？
It's okay with him.
今捨てたわい。
ああ、なんか一気に腹減った。
He needs some more biscuits.
別に何も食いてなんて言ってない。
あら、なっとるが。
俺はお前の作った飯しか食わ
Oh, yeah.
ん。槍が降っても
Just give me hype.
お前を待ってる。
Bum, 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 bum. Bum, 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 bum. Shh, shh, shh. He is the oosh. I always sing songs about Ushi, the cat, to this song. Just gets stuck in my head. I have to make little songs out of it. Dude, this is so hype, man. I feel like it's building and building now. I'm getting excited for like their comeback. They've gone through a lot of shit in this arc now. We get to maybe see them come back. Is that what Nami made her dress out of?
そこまでとは不利。
Heinous indeed.
確証はなかったわ。でもあまりにいい子すぎるから一人で探りを入れていたの。
俺が結婚すりゃルフィたちも助けてくれるなんて、そんなものもともと成立しねえじゃねえか。俺一人が犠牲になれば丸く収まると思ってた。とんだ幻想だった。
Damn,
なん
dude.
てアメンだ。
ジェルマはこのまま滅ぶべきだと思う。
Hmm.
このまま気づいてないふりをしてビッグマムの計略通りに。
Interesting.
お茶会に出たらお前も死ぬんだぞ、レイジュ。
へえ、私の心配してくれるの？
Hmm.
昔の手助けぐらいで恩なんか感じないで、あなたは麦わらたちと逃げなさい、サンジ。
ああ、そんなこと。たとえできてもバラティエはどうなる？
それは逃げてから考えればいい。
Mm-hmm.
サンジ、あなたは死んではいけない。
Aww.
母さんのためにも。
どういうことだ？
私には忘れられない記憶があるの。
I guess another flashback? More context?
父と母の大喧嘩よ。私も子供だったから、優しい母さんがなんであんなに怒っていたのか不思議だったけど。
Probably because of the way he was treating Sanji.
母さんはその時身ごもっていた。
Oh.
あなたたち4人を無感情のマシーンにすることに猛反対してた。そんな、なんて恐ろしいことを。
すでに手術の準備はできている。
やめて、私の子たちを。心を失ったらそんなの人間じゃない。
戦争にさえか。連れて行く。
何？いや、離して。あなた、やめて。私の子たちよ。でも母さんはその後、父の野心を阻止するために薬を飲んだ。
Is this why she died? Wow, man.
操作された血統因子に影響を及ぼすほどの劇薬を。
Hmm.
生まれた弟たちの体には次々と人間を超える異常が見つかった。
They're crazy, dude. I didn't know Reiju was born before all of them.
ご安心を。薬などで体の設計図を変えられましょうか。
What Sanji's was. Oh.
遊ぼう。お腹空いてるのか？ちょっと待って。うまいか？
サンジ様が動物に。
Oh no, he's feeding birds.
あなたはどんどん人間として成長していき、その一方で母は薬の後遺症でみるみる衰弱した。
Damn, man. Not because of you, for you. Yeah, for you.
レイジュ、いらっしゃい。
Now I wonder how Reiju felt, because she must have been. I didn't know she was older than all of them.
全然遊んでくれないの。それはサンジがね、私にお弁当を作ってくれたの。ねえ、今日サンジがなんて言ってくれたと思う？早く治ってねって。
Oh.
本当に心から嬉しそうだった。いいの。それよりレイジュ、もっとこっちに来て。あなたたちの成長を見届けられそうにないのはとても残念。きっと母さんはあなたのことも自分の選択も何一つ後悔なんてしていない。
Yeah, she was glad she didn't. Man, dude, Sanji's shocked.
死者に花を手向ける心など我が子。
God, dude. He's such a fucking prick.
泣いてんじゃねえよ。
お前も来い。
I guess it makes sense that Reiju was born first. She always had a 0 on her shirt. I just noticed that.
決してあなたを許さなかった。
Yeah, literally polar opposites. I don't know how they ended up together. He must have changed a lot or something.
にして辛く当たるようになった。
二度と料理もするな。
The only person you can blame is yourself. I love getting to see her perspective a lot more here.
引き止めやしない。鉄仮面の鍵はそのまま持っていけ。ただ一つ。父として私からの。
They're making me watch this BS again, man.
私がお前の父親であることは誰にも知られたくない汚点なのだ。
I would just go around telling everybody just to bring him so much shame. Piece of shit. Aww. Aww.
あなたが失敗作なはずがない。命がけの抵抗で守られた。感情を持って生まれてきた子。それがあなた、サンジ。
Wow, beautiful.
あなたは誰よりも優しいのよ。
Good episode, man. Heartwarming stuff. Now Luffy's on the run, roaming around. Dude, creates so much chaos, man. You know, we haven't seen in a while. We haven't seen Pedro in a minute. Get whip, maybe? Whip? Nope, Gatling. This is one of those big boys. Yeah, it's this guy. I mean, it wasn't just because of you. There's a lot of help there, bro.
何を迷っているの？すでに結論は出ているわ。ジェルマは過去の栄光にすがりつくただの破壊者。この世に不必要な存在よ。
Just burn it all to the ground.
人質のように振りかざす父も兄弟も明日殺される。当然の報いよ。人殺しの集団だもの。
俺だってあいつらには恨みしかねえが、お前までなぜ死ぬんだ。
父の命令に逆らえないように改造された共犯者。手は汚れてる。死ぬべきよ。
Interesting. Oh, speaking of Pedro, this is what I wanted to see. This was like a few episodes ago at least, right? I love how a fucking egg came out of him. What? Oh no. His second form. Yoko? Guys, was a bug. Interesting. I like how it still has his eye gone. It's almost like an alter ego too. It kind of looks funny, like holding some daggers and wings. Hey, man. Hey, mama. Jesus. Nice, Brooke. Man, he's taking hits left and right. Dude. Her hat's probably gonna come in again. Jeez. This is making me want to see some Zoro in action, man. You can see the real swordsman. Oh my god. Uh-oh. Another egg? How many eggs does this guy have, bro? Damn, he got there just in time. I really thought he was about to get gutted. Again. See? How many forms? This is an interesting devil suit. Devil suit, devil fruit. The egg fruit, of course. Dude. Oh my gosh. Bro. Did he actually just blow himself up? Oh dear God.
なんという硬さ。
Boing?
さて
Dang. Ooh. Dude, that was a crazy, I don't know, the animation there.
気分屋のママの耳にこれ以上の不祥事を報告すれば
The Moody
明日の
Mama.
計画に影響を与える
Pretty accurate. Just gonna call her Moody Mama instead of Big Mama from now on.
この階への通路はすべて封鎖3階以下で速やかに対応しすべての問題を解決
Solve all problems immediately. Simple as that.
なんて可愛い生物だ
Did she dress him
こ
up?
の隅々まで骨なのに生きている奇跡すっかりチェス獣兵たちはお前にビビっちまってるよまんままんま
Aw.
こいつらは倒せない俺のソウルを直接与えて
Mm-hmm. Aha.
まんままんま
Aw. I don't like seeing Brooke like this, man.
疑って悪かったねなでなで
無念。なん
Yeah.
恥ずかしめ。
玉手箱はもちろんポーネグリフの写しなんかも
It's so weird, man. She's so childlike.
ロジャーの時のようなヘマはもうやらね
Mm.
えあいつは万物の声を聞くって奇妙な力で石を読み解いたが
Oh, yeah.
やがて同じ力を手に入れる隠し玉がいるのさ
Eventually? Ugh.
次にラフテルに到達するのはママあおおかわいいプリン噂をすればどうした第三の目が真の海岸でもしたか
To its true power?
私はハーフなのよ。本当にそんな力が目覚める保証もない。
Oh, I see. So she's implying that she's the one who will be able to hear the voices like Roger?
間違いなくお前は希少なミツメ族の血を引いているの
Ah.
ミツメ族としての目覚めがないんじゃ気味悪いだけだからね
Just the creepy looking girl. That's a nice mama. Hmm.
プリンさん。
あの骨男、こんなところにいたのか。まあ、捕まったのならよかった。ね
Hmm.
え、ママ、ここじゃ恥ずかしいから、ママの部屋でお話を。
Hmm. Interesting. She even acts like with Big Mama. Choke his ass out. He deserves it.
言い忘れたけどそのブレスレット
この島から出ようとすると。
Yeah, these are still a big problem.
爆発なんてしないわ
Dude, raise you clutch, man.
島を出られない理由は
Dude, Reiju's a real one.
しっかりしなさいサンジ大切なものをよく見て
大切な。麦わらを食べろ。
Dude, I'm getting like goosebumps right now with the soundtrack and everything.
仲間になってくれよお前はいいコックだから一緒に海賊やろうあんな素敵な奴らもう一生出会えないわよ
Hmm.
サンジ
Dude, good episodes. Action packed, bro. All right, y'all. There you have it. Episode 819 and 820 done. I think we're getting pretty close to being to that halfway point of this arc. I don't remember exactly where it ends, but I think we're getting pretty close, and you can definitely feel everything starting to ramp up in terms of all the different plot lines going along here, and also just getting a lot more, I guess, like direct answers to kind of the themes of this arc so far around a lot of parents and their children. We're seeing a lot more of Sanji and his mom in these episodes. Reiju, especially, big focus on her and the different information and her experiences that she knows about her upbringing. I really liked Reiju's analysis of Pudding when Sanji tells her kind of how heinous she really is after her third eye is revealed and her true intentions. And I really like how Reiju said, "Oh yeah, I kind of was already onto her, investigating her. She seemed a bit too perfect." It's interesting to me, someone saying something like that, because I do think there is something to, people kind of trying to put on a mask of being a certain way in, around the people, especially around like public people. I think we all kind of wear masks to a degree to kind of like fit in socially, and it doesn't necessarily represent our true selves fully. And obviously there's implications to that. But oftentimes I think a lot of people do that more for insecurity than necessarily ill intentions like Pudding has. But maybe there's something a bit deeper here. And I think while we're at this point, maybe we should talk about Pudding a little bit more, because we do get a lot of interesting dialogue with her later after Big Mama defeats Brook, and they're talking. They talk a little bit about how Gold Roger had been there before, and I guess had read one of Big Mama's poneglyphs, with that ability to, I guess, hear, different voices or whatever. How did she say? She said something like, to hear the voice of all things. So he was able to read the poneglyph with that, which is interesting. I know we got a reference to that in Fishman Island arc, and I remember Goldie Roger was mentioned. I think Joy Boy was mentioned too, although I don't remember in what context, if it was around that or not. But yeah, really interesting that Goldie Roger was able to interpret the poneglyphs without like knowing the language. Like I guess he could, hear the voice of all things, similar to I guess Momonosuke can do that too, right? With what's her face, the big elephant, Zisha or something like that. I'm forgetting her name, even though she was like, or not she. Is it a she? I don't think it was a she either. But yeah, very interesting that we're getting more information on this power. And Big Mama's, I guess, plan for getting to Raftel first is her hope that Pudding is going to have this power awakened in her. And in fact, she says that, I guess it's a bloodline that has this ability. The third-eyed people's blood is, I guess, what passes on this ability to be able to hear all things. And I guess Pudding has this blood in her veins, but she's not like a direct, directly related. She probably is like partly, I guess a mix of different kind of bloodlines. But it's interesting that that's kind of what the ability comes from, because the people we've seen in like Momonosuke or Goldie Rogers, they obviously haven't had a third eye like we've seen in Pudding. So it's kind of interesting that it could awaken, or maybe it's passed down this bloodline, and that Big Mom is kind of putting her hope in Pudding. But it's like a chance thing, like it's not a guarantee. And one part of that, kind of going back to our rationale to talking about Pudding here, was that, when Pudding's kind of talking about how it's not a guarantee, Big Mama says something really insensitive, like, "Oh, well, if it doesn't awaken in you, then you're just a creepy girl with a third eye," right? Kind of like, I don't know, diminishing who she is a lot. And you can see the flatness in Pudding's face. So Pudding's extremely interesting to me still. I'm still not fully convinced that she is pure evil. I mean, she obviously has a lot of evil in her with what she's done to manipulate Sanji and everyone. But you can see that she's not really super close to Big Mama too. Big Mama's still mean to her. She even does like a little acting spell to get away from Brook in the situation, to like, I guess, manipulate Big Mama to a degree too. So, there's still a lot of complexity to her character. And I think this whole acting and putting a mask on, you can look at it as simply as she's just playing people and manipulating people. But I also look at this from like my own experiences in life, and like how people put masks on or act in as a certain character to protect their real selves and the insecurities that they have. And maybe Pudding has something along those lines of her pain from being Big Mama's favorite child, or Big Mama putting so much pressure on her with this third eye ability, and once again kind of having similarities to a character like Sanji in the way he was raised with his father, trying to create a certain path for him, and the shame it creates when you don't live up to what your parent is hoping you'll become. Shame, I think, is really starting to become a very focal point of this arc, especially how it relates to your upbringing. And I think it's a good segue into talking about Sanji in these episodes and how we learn about his mother SORA'S sacrifice. I guess this was something I never noticed, but that Reiju was actually born before all of them. She had the little zero, so it makes sense. But I always thought they were all born together. But I guess Reiju is actually the eldest, and she overheard this argument between Judge and Sora about him wanting to do the surgery to, enhance them all, but also remove their emotions. And Sora is completely against it. You can tell she does not want her children to be subjected to that. But all Judge cares about is strength and creating soldiers, perfect soldiers, to have the strength to and fulfill his ambition. Once again, comparing that to Big Mama and Pudding, Big Mama's ambition and her putting this on Pudding is somewhat, her, not being an actual good parent, right? Similar to Judge in this situation. And you can see that Judge is not even just not a good parent, but an awful husband too, where he forces her to do this. Like, that is awful, an awful thing to do. But ultimately, Sanji's mother ends up, I guess, consuming some toxin or poison that's supposed to kind of slow down or stop the altering of the, whatever they change in their blood to enhance them. And obviously that doesn't work for the majority of them, but it does work for Sanji. It's interesting seeing how happy she is when she sees that Sanji has that humanity in him, that kindness in him, so different from his siblings. And up to the very last minute, you can see that she has no regret in it. She's happy about it. Her sacrifice was worth it. And I think one really important part here, and I mentioned this in the reaction, but talking and kind of going back to the shame, right? When Sanji finds out that his mother did this, and he automatically says, "Oh, so she died because of me." And during the reaction, I said, "No, she died for you." I think that automatic way of viewing this situation, the way Sanji is doing it, comes from shame, right? It comes from a shame of himself and being in this world, a shame that his father placed in him because of him not meeting his ambitions or what he needs for his ambitions. Shame is such a powerful emotion that really, really will make somebody view the world and themselves, especially themselves in the world, so differently. Like, I think the fact that Sanji automatically makes that connection that, oh, my mom died because of me, is like proof of the way he views himself in the world. And you see this behavior in so many other parts, like him sacrificing himself for his friends, trying to create this perfect scenario where everyone but him will survive and be happy. He's self-sacrificing here. And I think that a lot of that comes to not valuing or feeling your importance in the world because of something like shame. So yeah, I think it's extremely interesting seeing multiple characters in this arc on both Big Mama's side and Judge and the Vinland Saga, the Vinsmoke family, and just how much it's impacted certain characters. I'm extremely interested if this is going to come, expand out to Pudding a bit more, because I think she's more complicated than just a quick anime betrayal here. Although, even if it's just that, obviously that's still super sick, and her character has still been interesting with just the way she can act. But I have a feeling there's more to it overall, and I'm curious on how Sanji and Pudding potentially might grow in this arc and develop in this arc. You can see Reiju challenging Sanji, for example, to think about what's important to him, to not just be thinking about Reiju and her, kind of self-sacrificing herself in this scenario, or holding herself accountable to the blood on her hands, and wanting to still have Germa 66 fall into this trap by Big Mama. She's telling Sanji, like, don't worry about me. You don't owe me anything for the one time I helped you. Think about what's important to you. And Sanji's getting flashes to his friends and the camaraderie and his family, right? That's his family, his real family. And I think that's another element of when somebody is full of shame and not valuing themselves, they always think of others first before themselves, when, I think everybody should be thinking about themselves first. And so, of course, great to be empathetic and sensitive to other people. But if you do that in a self-sacrificing way, it creates dysfunction for both yourself and your relationships. You know, in some ways, it kind of reminds me of like people pleasers. And I'll be honest, recovering people pleaser here. If y'all can't notice, it's probably pretty obvious. But yeah, like it is something that, you know, is a struggle to, you know, focus on yourself first versus, you know, automatically being default mode and like thinking about how others feel first. You know, the people who are really sensitive or kind of the empaths of the world, I think it's a really beautiful thing, but it comes with a lot of pain if you're not aware of how you could be self-sacrificing in certain situations, like Sanji probably has been in this arc so far. A couple other things we get, a little bit smaller things, but Baron Tamago, we see his devil fruit come out, the egg fruit, a little silly. Kind of cool too, like he definitely seems stronger in the second form, but you know, we're about to maybe see his third form, question mark, with Pedro blowing everything up, who knows. We also get confirmation that Zeus and Prometheus and the Hat are all actually Big Mama's souls, so it makes sense that Brook couldn't use the Shout of the Soul to remove them. Interesting that Big Mama has like kind of separated out parts of her, and like they seem to be tied to her emotions, like we talked about in some previous episodes. So interesting stuff there. Big Mama, once again, super interesting character, man. I can't wait for her backstory. All right, let's go ahead and move on to the character ratings. For MVP, I'm gonna give that to Sora and her sacrifice. I think the fact that she willingly put her body on the line, like to protect the humanity of her children, shows a lot of her character, her character's character. but I love just how it was all worth it to her. You know, she didn't have, you could see how happy she was. She smiled in that flashback with her telling Reiju that she wasn't going to make it to them growing old. You know, she's implying that she's going to pass, but you could see the smile on her face, the happiness, the fulfillment. You know, I think people on their deathbeds usually are filled with regret, or they're struggling with their death because they're filled with regret of things they did in their life. But you can see here that she had no regrets from making the sacrifice for Sanji and just seeing how kind he is, right? Like she got to see her sacrifice come to fruition, which is beautiful. For the best moment, I'm just gonna give that to Reiju in general for I guess like explain the context of everything, but especially around, you know, just like her describing Sanji's kindness and humanity. You can tell that it's important to her. You know, Reiju obviously was pretty close with her mother as well, and I think the impact that Sanji had on her mother, you know, really helped her value who Sanji is as a person and the humanity he has. And lastly, for the funniest moment, I'll give that to Baron Tamago, and I think it's like the third form he does in, like, you know, he makes some, you know, weird sound. He's like cock-a-doodle-doo or whatever, like a fucking rooster. Silly, man. Yeah, his form is definitely a bit unique. The egg fruit, man. Of course, on Whole Cake Island, you gotta have the food devil fruits. But yeah, I think that'll do for this episode. Loving the arc, man. This is starting to pick up and really build some steam here. I'm loving the intricacies of it all too, with the characters, especially putting Sanji, Big Mama, and Judge all seemingly have some intertwined perspectives on kind of like the themes that Oda seems to be trying to talk about in this arc so far. So really good stuff. I love like the parent-child like relationship and showing how it's impacting the kids. It's really interesting to me. If y'all can't tell, I like psychology a lot and all that stuff. I talk about philosophy or, you know, the human condition, all that. It's always so interesting to me. So, but let me know what y'all thought about this one in the comments down below. If y'all had any different character ratings or, you know, anything that I didn't pick up on that would be interesting to discuss. Appreciate y'all being here. Consider dropping a like, subscribing, check out the Patreon, all that good stuff. And yeah, hope you have a good rest of your week. Catch you next time. Peace.